Hello there guys and welcome back to a brand new video. Now the announcement that BB-8 and BB-9E were coming to Star Wars Battlefront 2 as heroes in January obviously came out last Wednesday, and it's safe to say that many people weren't actually happy about it, and many people were, and a lot of people were just left confused. I'll be honest, at first I was one of those confused people, as I was thinking, why are they adding these guys instead of adding people like Poe and General Hux? But I think having BB-8 and BB-9E is a much better choice, and I'll go through that in just a second. If you do enjoy the video though guys, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on any more of my content. Going back to the topic at hand, I'd love to hear your thoughts on BB-8 and BB-9E coming to Battlefront 2, so please leave your thoughts in the comments below. So as I said, the community response for these two rolly droids has been very mixed, many claiming that they aren't good enough to be heroes, or that they would rather see Poe and Hux instead. Now I completely understand why they would rather see two gunmen hero, people want to go for kill streaks, different gameplay, stuff like that, but I've seen many people claim that people have been asking for Poe to be added on the ground for ages, as well as General Hux, which is only half true, and I've seen people ask to add Poe, but I haven't really ever seen anyone ask for General Hux to be added if I'm honest. A lot of the time people are saying how much they despise the character and don't want him in the game, so to see people asking for him now and claiming that they've asked before, I think is honestly quite ridiculous. I personally feel that the addition of BB-8 and BB-9E will actually be great for the game, and if we got Poe and Hux at some point, or instead of these guys, I'd be happy to see them. However, I would probably get pretty bored of them in a short space of time due to them just being likely generic blast heroes anyway. I can kind of imagine Poe just playing similar to Finn, and maybe an assault trooper, and General Hux just, to be honest, being almost like a glorified first order officer, which would honestly be pretty dull. That being said, BB-8 and BB-9E will be able to roll around the Battlefront supporting their team. Now this is a completely new style of gameplay for Battlefront 2, and I think it's actually a really exciting opportunity. Yes, there is the argument that Finn and Yoda have abilities that support the team, obviously Yoda's buff and 2 abilities for Finn. However, these heroes are very much ones that can stand alone and don't particularly play the biggest of roles within team play. BB-8 and BB-9E, however, are literally support roles, and this has been stated many times, which means their sole purpose in the game is to support the team, very much like Mercy in Overwatch. Last week, Dennis made a comment saying that BB-8 will not be able to 1v1 Vader if Vader was at full health. However, if he's very low, then they will need to watch out for BB-8's dash. So this comment itself just builds on the fact that these two heroes will be solely there for support roles, and of course they'll be able to deal some damage to enemies, but this will be very little in the grand scheme of things. And as I said, their purpose is going to be to support the team. Obviously in what ways they'll do this we don't particularly know, we'll find out their abilities in January before they come, but they're not meant to be there to wipe out squads, which I think is a big misconception for a lot of people. As I said earlier, they will be bringing a completely new playstyle and gameplay features to Battlefront, which I think is actually very much needed and will hopefully shake things up a little. The addition of these two heroes was a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one, and I think the fact that we weren't expecting any heroes anyway, but ended up getting the announcement for 2 in January, I think is a really nice thing for DICE to do, and I think it's a real shame to see so many people be completely ungrateful for the fact that we are getting heroes anyway. And I also feel like if we did get Poe and General Hux, going back to an earlier comment I made, I feel like the Battlefront would just very much still feel the same, and it'll just start to get a little bit boring. You'd kind of maybe want to see heroes like this enter the game anyway, so I think that having BB-8 and BB-9E is actually the best thing for the game at the moment. Now to build on top of that comment, I think that with the introduction of BB-8 and BB-9E, it opens up more opportunities for other hero types in the future. Obviously they could just add more support roles, but there could be other hero types in the future as well, and I've already seen people asking for R2-D2 to be added into the game at some point, which I think is actually a really good idea. He was obviously playable in Battlefront 2015's Battle Station mode as part of the Death Star DLC, so I see no reason as to why he won't be playable in the future of this game. Now the support role that these two bring will hopefully encourage further team play in modes like Galactic Assault, Capital Supremacy, and even Heroes vs Villains as well. I can just imagine BB-8 and a small squad of clones pushing for the Ion Blaster on Naboo to go and take out the MTC, or Kashyyyk of course, it could be anything, but I think it would be really nice to imagine the fact that the squad defends BB-8 whilst BB-8 buffs and supports them, it goes both ways, and that will obviously help the objective to be complete in a more efficient manner. Before I end though guys, I think it's also worth mentioning that BB-8 plays a very important role in the sequel trilogy, so to claim that he isn't a hero I think is rather silly, and droid lives matter too guys, so I think we need to respect that as well. BB-9E appeared briefly in The Last Jedi, and the fact that they were adding BB-8 anyway, BB-9E of course is the perfect counter to him. And Dennis said this last week, but this addition of BB-9E was very much opportunistic. To summarise guys, I feel as though the introduction of BB-8 and BB-9E will bring great changes to the game and open up far more gameplay experiences and opportunities than General Hux and Poe could ever bring. I'm very keen for the January update in which we will get these, as well as Capital Supremacy for the sequel trilogy, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how these two play out. Let me know what you guys think of the video and of course BB-8 and BB-9E in the comments below. That's it from me today though guys, thank you all very much for watching and may the force be with you always.